Everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to factor quadratic trinomials using trial and error. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing I do is I write factors of my A term, so factors of the coefficient of the first term. So what numbers multiply to be 4, 4 times 1, and 2 times 2. And then I write down factors of my C term, numbers that multiply to be 5. So I'm not worried about negative signs right now. I kind of just ignore negative signs for now. I'm just going to think of everything as positive. So it's just 5 times 1. And then the next thing I do is I'm going to write two sets of binomials, two sets of parentheses to create my binomials. So what I'm wanting to do is place a pair of numbers from this column and a pair of numbers from this column. A lot of times there'll be more than one pair. There's only one pair now. But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to match up a pair from here and a pair from here to get our B term. And we're just, again, we're ignoring negative signs for now. We're just going to think of it as 8. So if I try to pair 4 times 1, 4 and 1 with 5 and 1. So what you do when you're trying to pair them to get that 8, that B term, we multiply the first factor here and the first factor here, and the second factor from here and the second factor from here, and we add or subtract them. So add and subtract them. So we have 4 times 5 is 20, 1 times 1 is 1. So what we have the numbers 20 and 1. Will the numbers 20 plus 1 get us 8, or 20 minus 1 get us 8? No. So now we're going to multiply this first factor by the other factor in the second pair. So we have 4 times 1, and then we'll do the other two, 1 times 5. So 4 times 1 is 4, 5 times 1 is 5. And will 4 plus 5 or 5 minus 4 ever get us an 8? No. So this pair and this pair together won't work to get us 8. So now we go to this pair and this pair. Let's try these two. So again, one factor from here and here, and then the other two factors, remaining factors get multiplied. So 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 1 is 2. So we have the numbers 10 and 2. 10 plus 2 won't get us 8, but 10 minus 2 will get us 8. So this pair of numbers and this pair is going to work. Okay, so that's how you go about it. Again, we've ignored negative signs. Okay, we're not worried about negative signs for now. We write down factors of our A term, factors of our C term, and then we get one of these pairs to match up with one of these pairs to get us our B. And the way we go about that is we multiply one factor from the first pair and another factor from the other pair together, and then multiply the remaining factors. So for example, again, we had 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 1 is 2, and then we add and subtract those two numbers to try to get us 8. 10 plus 2 is an 8, but 10 minus 2 is 8. So from foiling, we know we need to place these first along with whatever variable. They go in each binomial, they are the first term, because when we FOIL, the first terms get multiplied to be the first term in our quadratic, in our trinomial. So again, these two numbers get placed into the first term for each binomial. And it doesn't matter how you place them. Now, this one's the same, it's 2 and 2. But if they were different, it wouldn't matter how you place them, as long as they're both each the first term in the binomial. Now, the 5 and 1, it does matter how you place them. We want to get that 8. So remember, the outside terms get multiplied together, and the inside terms get multiplied together when we FOIL. And then they get added or subtracted to get that middle term. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get an 8. So I'm going to put 5 here, because that will get me a 10x. Remember, my outside terms multiply together. And then, of course, the 1 will just have to go here. So these terms here go in the last spot in each binomial, because the last terms will also multiply to get us the C term in the quadratic. And again, the outside terms and the inside terms will multiply together and then add or subtract to get us the middle term. So I placed 5 here to get the 10x. And then, of course, if I place 5 here, then I'm going to have to place 1 here, and that'll get me 2x. So 10x minus 2x gets me that 8x I wanted. And again, these have to go in the last spot. Okay, so up until this point, we haven't worried about signs. Well, now we're going to worry about signs. So we need to multiply the last two numbers, 5 and 1, to get a negative 5. So the way you multiply to get a negative number is they both have to be different signs. They're going to have to be different. So a plus and a minus. Now, so I know there's going to be either a plus or minus here or plus or minus here. Now, where they go depends on the b term. So I have negative 8. Negative 8 is my coefficient of b. So in that case, I want the larger product to have the negative and the smaller product to have the positive, because the larger product being the outside term. So it's negative 10x plus 2x gives me negative 8x. So I'm done. That's it. These are the factors of this quadratic trinomial. Now we can FOIL to check. I'm going to FOIL to check. So let's just write it all out. Now I'm foiling as I'm going along, but let's just write it all out. So first, and then outside, minus 10x, inside, plus 2x, and last, minus 5, and then you get 4x squared. Negative 10x plus 2x is negative 8x minus 5. So yes, these two binomials are the factors of this quadratic. And that's it. That's how you do all of them. It's pretty simple and it's actually pretty fun. You just have to play with the numbers a little bit, and trust me, as you do more of these, you will get a lot quicker. Okay, let's do another one. So numbers that multiply to be 9, 9 times 1 and 3 times 3. Numbers that multiply to be 2 or 2 times 1. Again, we're not concerned with negative signs, not until the very last part. So I'm going to draw my two binomials. So one of these pairs of numbers is going to have to go with this pair, match up with this pair to get us a 9. Again, we're not concerned with negative signs right now. So if I look here, these two. So again, to figure out how to get that 9, you take one number from here, from this pair of factors, times one number from this pair of factors, and then the remaining factors get multiplied, and then you add or subtract those results. So we have 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3. So we have the number 6 and 3. 6 minus 3 won't get us a 9, but 6 plus 3 will get us a 9. So these two pairs will match up to get us this b term. So now we have to place them within our binomials. So these two always go first along with whatever variable you have. Okay, because we know that from foiling, when we multiply the first term in each binomial, we get the first term of the quadratic. And these two have to be placed last, because these are going to multiply together to get the c term, but we also have to place some so that our outside product and our inside product will add or subtract to get our b term. So I want to get that 9. So I'm going to go ahead. Actually, it doesn't really matter in this case because just like here, back here, the first terms were both the same. But yeah, I'll just put 2 here and I'll put 1 here. Okay, so I have 6x and 3x. Okay. Now I need to worry about my signs. I need to multiply the last two numbers to get a positive 2. So to multiply two numbers to get a positive number, they're going to have to be the same sign. Either they're both positive or they're both negative signs. Now, the outside product and the inside product need to add or subtract to get me negative 9. So if I'm going to add two numbers to get a negative number, then they're both going to need to be negative signs. So we have negative 6x minus 3x is negative 9x. And we can, so this is your answer here. But we can go ahead and FOIL to check our answer. So let's see. So FOIL. Okay, so first, and then outside, inside, and last. And so we get 9x squared. This is minus 9x plus 2, which is our original quadratic. So if we FOIL and we get our original quadratic, then that means we factored the quadratic correctly. So these two are the factors of this trinomial. Let's do another one. Okay, so just same thing again. So numbers that multiply to get 5, numbers that multiply to get 2, and then we're going to write down 2 sets of parentheses. There's only one pair from here and here, so that's the only combination we can have. So again, these numbers get placed first. It doesn't matter how they get placed, as long as they're placed first, along with whatever variable you have. Of course, this could be here or this could be here. 2 times 2 and 1 will get placed last because they're going to multiply to get the C term. But we have to place them so that we get 11 for B. Now, again, the outside product, we're going to get the outside product, and we're going to combine the inside product to get that B term. So I'm going to get 11, right? So I'm going to put the 2 here to get 10. And then, of course, the 1 has to go here. So 10x's plus an x is 11. So now I'm going to worry about signs. I need to multiply two numbers to get a positive number. So the signs are either going to both have to be positive or both negative, and they have to add to be positive 11. So they'll both be positive numbers, positive signs. And if we FOIL to check, oops, then we get first, outside, inside, and last. We get 5x squared plus 11x plus 2. So these two binomials are the factors of our quadratic trinomial. Okay, let's do it again. So numbers that multiply to be 6, numbers that multiply to be 7. I want to get a 17. Let's try looking here. Let's see. Remember, one number from here with one number from here, and the two others, the leftovers get multiplied, and then we add or subtract those results. So 3 times 7 is 21. 2 times 1 is 2. We have the numbers 21 and 2. Will 21 plus 2 or 21 minus 2 ever get us 17? No. Let's try the 2 and the 7 together now. And then, of course, 3 and 1 will get multiplied together. So we have 2 times 7 is 14, and 3 times 1 is 3. So will 14 minus 3 or 14 plus 3 get us 17? Yeah, 14 plus 3 will get us 17. So these two get placed first. It doesn't matter where, along with whatever letter is assigned to it. And these two get placed last. It does matter. We want to get that 14 and the 3. So I'm going to place the 7 here to get 14, and then the 1 here to get 3. Because remember, in FOILing, outside terms get multiplied, the inside terms get multiplied, and those two terms, those two products combine to get us our middle term. Okay, so now we have to worry about signs. I need to multiply two numbers to get a positive 7, but at the same time add to get positive 17. So they're both going to be plus. And that's it. And if we FOIL to check, and you don't need to do this every time. I kind of just do the FOILing in my head as I go along in the problem, so I don't have to do it at the end. But if you can do it until you're comfortable. So first, and then outside, inside, and last. So we get 6x squared plus 17x plus 7. And so, oops, yeah. So we get 3x plus 1 times 2x plus 1 as our factors. And that's it. All right, let's do another one. So numbers that multiply to be 2 and numbers that multiply to be 36. So 4 times 9, 12 times 3, 2 times 18. Okay, so again, I'm not worried about signs at this point. So this pair is going to have to be matched up with one of these pairs to get 1. So if we look here, let's just try this pair with this pair. So again, we just take one number from here, one number from here, just to start out, and then the 2 remaining numbers get multiplied. So 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 9 is 9. I have the numbers 8 and 9. 9 plus 8 isn't 1, but how about 9 minus 8? That's 1. So this and this pair will work out. So these two get placed first, along with whatever letter we have. And these two get placed last. So I want to get that 8 and the 9. So I want to place the 4 here to get 8. And then, so that means I'll just have to place the 9 here. So you get 9x. So I have 8x and 9x. And 9x minus 8x is 1x. Okay, so now I have to worry about signs. I need to multiply 2 numbers to get a negative number. So in order to do that, they both have to be different signs. One has to be plus, one has to be minus. And then they need to add or subtract to get a 1, a positive 1. So if one has to be positive, if one sign has to be positive, one has to be negative, and I want to get a plus 1, I want my larger product to be a positive and my smaller to be a negative. So if we FOIL to check, so we get first, outside, and then inside, and then last. This is just the x. So yeah, we get the original quadratic after we FOIL. So these two pairs of binomials are the factors of this quadratic. And that is it. That is all I have for this video. So not too bad. You just find factors of your A term and factors of your C term and figure out which one of these is going to go with which one of these. We only have one pair here, but let's see if we had an example where we had, I don't think we ever had more than one. So I'll have another video where there's more than one here, more than one pair here, more than one pair here. Regardless, you match up one from here, one from here, and you're trying to get that, when you're pairing them up, a pair from this column and a pair from this column, you're trying to get that B term, not worrying about signs at this point, and you just multiply one factor from here, and the 2 remaining factors, add or subtract them. If that doesn't work, then switch factors, and then you place them. These two get placed first because when we FOIL, we multiply the first terms in each binomial to get our first term in our quadratic. These two get placed last because we FOIL, the last terms get multiplied together to get our last term in our quadratic. And of course, we have to place these right to get our B term. So we have to make sure we get the correct outside product and the inside product. And then last, we have to worry about signs. Okay, so we have to see what it has to, what choices we have from here, and then we narrow it down with the B term. And then you can always FOIL to check. And as you do more of these, you're not going to really have to FOIL to check at the end. You kind of just, as you go along working the problem, you're FOILing it and checking it during that time. Okay, guys, I really hope that helped. It really is a simple process and lots of fun. So just get some practice with it. Please feel free to check out my other videos. I have many other videos of other topics. And I'll talk to you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.